Well, what we got here? Well, we've got Clarky sitting on his stool in the woods, but this is not really a Clarky's Adventure video. What it is I've come out to test some equipment, and this equipment, it's important that I know how to use it. The item that we're going to be looking at is this. I'll come to that in a minute. I'm also giving a bit of a walkout for some new Altberg jungle boots that I bought that I will be using later in the year, but I need to walk them in and make sure I'm happy with them. Another thing I'm testing is some socks that I got from the Nordic shop in Keswick in the Lake District, and they're 70% merino wool, and I wanted something that wicks well and is comfortable to wear when it's wet. So if my feet get wet trekking through the jungle or whatever I'm doing, then even though there's water in the boots, my feet are going to be comfortable. And then I'm also testing a new pair of trousers I bought. Now, I bought these from a company called Mountain Warehouse. They're a budget retailer. I don't know if they're anywhere else apart from the UK, but they are a budget retailer, and I say retailer, outdoors equipment retailer. And I don't usually buy anything from them because, well, I'm a bit of a snob. If I aren't spending silly money on it, I seem to get this idea that it must be no good. Anyway, I wanted a cheap pair of pants to just, you know, grovel around in the woods with, you know, not have to worry about if I set fire to them, which is not unusual for me. And also, I thought they made my legs look slimmer. I mean, what's in there is all muscle, of course, but yeah, I thought they actually fit. I have such a job finding clothes that fit. Which brings me on to this shirt I'm wearing. I've had these particular brand of shirts for a long time. They're too long in the sleeve. I suppose it keeps, I could maybe do sort of impressions or something like that, you know, with them. But I love them. Rugged Wear, South African company. Pure cotton. Really nice in hot climates, like when I'm in the desert. Problem is, makes me look twice as fat as I am. You might think I'm making that up, but it does. Look, 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 look. But that's great because there's plenty of room for airflow, and I have the short sleeve version as well as this. These sleeves actually, here we go, choking up again. You can roll these up, and I've got a button on here that you can tie them up to. Makes it look more professional. Problem is that the place I go and do my sort of bushcraft survival courses, they wear shirts the same, or at least very similar, and I get worried people might think I'm an instructor, and then they might ask me questions, and then they're going to find out I know bugger all because I don't know the answers. Anyway, got some other bits and pieces I'm playing with today as well, but what we're going to look at is this DD jungle hammock. So I'm not going to spend hours faffing around filming this. You can get loads of reviews and things, but what I haven't done is I looked up the reviews as to whether the people think they're any good, but what I haven't done is actually have a look to see how to put the damn thing up, because again, like the last video I did, that would be reading the instructions. Maybe there is some instructions inside. I do have a DD hammock from the Frontline hammock, which I haven't used for maybe 3 or 4 years, so it's all a bit vague. But I did do a video about that called Tarp or No Tarp, and let's just say me getting into the hammock was a bit of a disaster. So I'm going to play around with this and I'll see what I make of it. Right, we're ready now. First thing I'm going to do is just unzip it. Ah, now I see. The zip will go all the way around, so you can take the meshing off altogether, but because I've cinched this up, I like that word, cinch. It's not as good as mush, but cinch, yeah. But just for what we want to do, I'm having to think about this. Right, it's got a storage pouch here, which is on a bit of cord, so I'm assuming that you can hang that, tighten it up and hang it from the roof. Oh well, we'll just leave it where it is at the minute. Right, shouldn't really get in with my knife on. It should be okay. Oh. Whoop, whoop, flip me neck, bite. Bloody hell. Oh. Oh. Well, I think it's safe to say it needs to be a bit higher because I'm just touching the ground. I tell you what, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna just raise it up a little bit. They're fighting back at me. Right, how am I going to do this? Right, so it's a bit higher. Shall we have another go? When I say we, you obviously don't want to participate, I can tell that. Right, I just got to be off the ground. Hang on. Whoa! Oh, that was better. Getting sideways. Whoops. Oh. Now the one thing I do know is you need to lay across these things diagonally to be comfortable. God blimey, I'm in. Oh, bye bye. Oh. Oh. Well, it's actually bigger than the DD Frontline, or at least it seems to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my thermarest out, and the idea is to slot it in here. And this is the thing I don't think it's going to work very well, because my thermarest, it just likes to go where it likes to go. It never goes, there's the body and there's a thermarest, and never the two shall meet exactly. Let's have a look here. Right, I've raised it up a little bit at that end as well, and while I was doing it I think I've swallowed a fly, but I guess it's all meat, you know, it'll be fine. Which way do I want to sleep? I guess for the experiment it doesn't really matter. God, I've got to get this in here yet. Whoops, where's it gone? Come on. I was at Rutland Water Lake sailing and it was too windy, and there was these guys just on these like surfboard things with fins, and they had sails like this and they had to flap them to get going, and then they were up and planing. Yeah, I think it might be a good idea if I never put this up when it's really windy. Try again. Which way around do you want to go? That's it. Right. Might be better if I open all of them. Right, try that. Right, Velcro back up. Right, this is going to be great. I remember what I said, just getting sideways, a bit higher this time. Whoop. Whoop. Just practice, we just need a bit of practice. Hang on, here we go. Oh. Well, I'm on the mat. Where the hell is it? Could actually do with a wider mat in here. I might have to look at that possibility. Tell you what though, on the mat it's ever so comfortable. Hang on. I'll have this mastered by the time I have to use it in anger. Hang on. I'm getting there, I'm getting there. So, we've tried that, we've tried the mat. Now we're going to try the sleeping bag. The thing is, if you're not used to using equipment, you need to practice with it. You know, I mean, I personally wouldn't let myself loose with a chainsaw unless somebody had shown me how to use it safely. And I mean, we are talking about the guy who doesn't really like health and safety much, but yeah, a chainsaw, you could be looking at missing the odd limb or two if you didn't know what you were doing. This is a sleeping bag and I do know what I'm doing with this. This is the one season bag. We used it in one of my videos where I fortunately had the mesh netting on the top. It saved me from being bitten to death. The problem is, you've got the mesh netting. In the time it takes me to get in here, it'll be full of tarantulas and great big creepy crawly things, and oh, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? That's why I've never been to a rainforest or jungle, because my wife wouldn't go. Right. Right. Now the problem before, if I remember rightly, was that the sleeping bag kept sliding down. Now I'm not too bothered, these shoes are very clean, I mean they're brand new, so should be okay. Right, let's imagine I'm getting into bed, I'm trying to fight off the mosquitoes, and I'm in. But now I've got to zip the damn thing up and get it up my back. Whoops, 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 whoops. Here we go, hang on. This is I thought it might be easier with this lightweight summer bag. Hey, I tell you what, I think I'm nearly in. And obviously, if I'm somewhere really hot, now I see the problem. I'm in, I can't reach the zip. I told you I was too small. So, having managed to get into my bed, I've now realised that I can't reach my zip. So I've got to get out. And right, we're going to do it, hang on. Alright. Get into the sitting position first. That's the trick. Instead of throwing yourself out. It's alright, I'm only a learner. I'll get some L plates for myself. Right. So. Oh, it's got some little pockets here inside as well to store things in. In my case, ibuprofen, I think. I think that's where I'll be storing. Now then, what's happening here? Oh. Okay, the good thing is I've got really big zip tabs on these, so it'll be very easy to get hold of. So we imagine it's there, I can reach that, and I can probably reach that. I'll put that one further away. Probably need it about there to be able to reach it, and then there'll be less chance of any tarantulas getting. I don't know if there's any tarantulas where I'm going, but there's going to be something that eats you. Now I've got a smaller hole to get in. Hang on, what's happening here? Whoops. Oh. Right, so I'm going to put that over my head. Right. I'll get my leg in here. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Get me. You know, next time I come to use this sleeping bag, I'll be wondering why it's full of leaves. I should remember to clean it out when I come away from here. All fun, isn't it? It's a shame I can't set this up on my lawn somewhere. Well, lawn, I've only got a patch of grass the size of a postage stamp, but I think a bit of practice. Come on, you pup. Yeah. Christ almighty. God, if I'm in a humid climate, I'm going to be sweating like a pig by the time They reckon one of the places I'm going, you wet through all the time anyway, so it ain't going to make a lot of difference. Right, let's have a go at the zipping. Zippy. Oh, that works. Oh, look at me. Right. Well, let me go up a bit. They say you want your feet a bit lower, get the blood going down to me. I need to go across at an angle. Oh. Yeah. There's a few lace ends of cotton here that are catching. Right. Of course, I need to be able to get out quick, just on the off chance I get in and I hear something hissing, because I'm not keen on snakes. I don't mind lions, leopards, cheetahs. I know they could eat me, but I don't really like snakes. Well, God, I'd say I'm knackered. Well, getting into the sleeping bag before you get in, I know is easier, having done it with the other one, but like I say, the problem is you're probably on wet ground. Now, DD, I don't know what season it is, or I don't want anything really bigger than this, but DD do a sleeping bag where it's waterproof up to here, so you can literally stand it on the ground and you can get in it and you won't wet the inside of your sleeping bag. So yeah, well, all I can say is a little bit more practice needed, but all in all, I'm happy with the outcome. I'm going home to study a bit of YouTube, as I said, and the little things that I've not quite figured out 100%, I'll hopefully get some answers. So that's the end of my day in the woods. I'm going to take a walk back, and you know, the boots that I'm testing, I've been out here about 3 hours now faffing about, and until I said that I hadn't actually noticed I was wearing them, and that's what boots should be like. You should not know they're there. Right, see you next time.